Okay, so the divisional round is officially set as the Eagles will host the LA Rams in a rematch of their game from earlier this season, but ahead of the matchup, a truth was revealed about Jalen Hurts that completely changes things, as it seems like QB1 may not have been to blame for the Birds' subpar passing performance against the Packers, but that said, then who does deserve the blame, and why should that change how we see this Eagles team moving forward? Meanwhile, Howie Roseman may have just revealed that an extension with All-Pro linebacker Zack Baun could already be in the works, while another Eagles linebacker might unexpectedly get his chance this week with Nakobe Dean's injury, plus offensive coordinator Kellen Moore might be a prime candidate in the Cowboys head coaching search, and also why do the Eagles clearly have the edge over the Rams in their divisional matchup? Well, we're going to talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And let's start this off by checking in on linebacker Nakobe Dean, who of course is now unfortunately out for the season after tests revealed that he tore his patellar tendon in his left knee during the win over the Packers. And what makes this injury even tougher is that in addition to missing the rest of this year, according to Ian Rappaport, he will also likely have to miss the start of next season as well, meaning that this will be his second straight offseason where he's forced to spend all his time rehabbing. So this is certainly a really tough situation, but the good news at this point, I guess, is that at least publicly, Nakobe seems to be doing his best to keep his spirits high, as after finding out his season was over, he posted an Instagram story saying, quote, "I'm gonna be back better than ever, God got me, but for right now, job not finished. We got more business to handle, go Birds." So you at least gotta love that Nakobe is trying to stay positive and is trusting in God's plan, but still, you just gotta feel bad for the guy, especially after just how darn good he was performing this year, and it's certainly also gonna hurt to not have him out there the rest of the way. And defensive coordinator Vic Fangio seems to agree with that.
Vic, what will your defense miss most with Nakobe being out?
His good play. You know, he's really played good for us this year. Gotten better and better as the season wore on. He had the green dot, was a call leader out there and making the calls that ILBs have to make. So we're going to miss him a ton.
Yeah, so like Fangio said, Nakobe Dean certainly will be missed, and all we can do now is just wish him as speedy a recovery as possible. And now, with him out, the Eagles are going to be relying on the backups to fill that void, whether it's the veteran Oren Burks, who was probably the favorite, or the rookie Jeremiah Trotter Jr., as according to Vic Fangio, he does have a chance to play a significant role on defense with Nakobe out.
Any thought about getting Trotter some reps out there? Is it going to just be Oren Burks, or how are you going to work that?
No, we'll probably get Trot. You know, we're not afraid to put him in there. Yeah, I think Trot's got a good future, and that future may be now. He's got good instincts, really likes the game. He's smart. You know, he's got a lot of good qualities.
Will it be a mix of them or just one?
It could be. It could be.
So that's certainly interesting, as I think most people would have probably expected that there'd be no question that it'd be Oren Burks moving forward, but again, those comments from Fangio definitely changed things, as it seems like Trot does have a chance to either rotate with Burks or be the exclusive starter. So personally, I love that, and I hope Trot does get to play, because not only am I excited about him and his potential, but I also didn't love what I saw from Burks in the Packers game, but we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out throughout the week. And with the uncertainty, at least we know we have a more than serviceable linebacker right next to either Trotter or Burks in Zack Baun, as of course the first-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler has had just an absolutely unbelievable year, and he just had another good performance against the Packers where he racked up 8 tackles and an interception. And obviously, games like this have become pretty routine for the former Saint in what has been just a historic first year in Philly. And of course, with Baun set to become a free agent this offseason, it's going to be a pretty big priority for the Birds to get an extension done to keep him here for the long term. And Eagles GM Howie Roseman may have actually just confirmed that, as in a recent clip coming from Jason Kelce's new talk show, it seems Howie may have revealed that both sides are expecting to come to an agreement on an extension in the future.
Did you know Zack Baun was going to be this year? Be honest!
You know, I went to him, he made first team All-Pro, and I went to him and I congratulated him, and I said, "Man, you deserve this." And he said, "Be honest. Did you think there was any shot of this?" And I said, "No." And please remember that when we do your contract.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is certainly interesting, because you heard him say there, quote, "when we do your contract." Not if, but when we do your contract. So if you take that at face value, it seems like Howie is definitely expecting to be able to get a deal done with Baun this offseason. That said, he was obviously just kind of joking around in this clip here, so I feel like we can't take what he said super literally, but at the very least, I think this at least does show you that Baun's extension is in fact something Howie is thinking about, and it will be one of his top priorities heading into the offseason. So that's definitely great news. Eagles. But now, moving on to some big news within the division, the Dallas Cowboys made headlines yesterday as they officially made the decision to part ways with their head coach Mike McCarthy after 5 years. And if you're an Eagles fan, this honestly probably was not the news you wanted to hear, because despite the fact that McCarthy has undoubtedly had success in the regular season with Dallas, his playoff shortcomings are also very well documented. So, I don't know. Personally, I would have liked to see McCarthy remain with the Cowboys, especially since now Dallas will enter the head coaching search and will have a chance of landing one of the promising available candidates, one of which is Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, as of course he's going to be a prime head coaching candidate across the league this offseason, and Cowboys reporter Nick Harris actually recently said that Moore is expected to be deeply in the mix for Dallas's open job. And as I said in a video last week, losing Moore to any team would just suck because he has been a good offensive coordinator for Philly this year, and it'd also be nice to just have a little bit of continuity at the offensive coordinator position for once, but to lose Moore to Dallas all teams would obviously hurt a little bit extra. That said, it seems like right now, based on reports, the favorite for the job might actually be Colorado head coach and former Cowboy Deion Sanders, which, if that happened, would just be insane. And personally, I'm hoping it does because I just don't really see that ending well for Dallas. Plus, it means that Kellen Moore won't be their head coach. But regardless of what happens, it'll just be interesting to see how Dallas's head coaching search plays out. But that said, I do want to circle back to Kellen Moore though, because a huge truth just came out regarding him, Jalen Hurts, and the rest of the Eagles offense that will change the way you see this team moving forward in the playoffs. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, but just real quick, if you haven't done so already, then make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the pretty much daily Eagles coverage I got coming on this channel throughout the playoffs, because trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of it. And also, let's see if we can get to 600 likes on today's video. I would greatly appreciate that. And now with that said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, in regards to Kellen Moore and the Eagles offense, I think it's pretty clear that Philly's offense did not perform well enough in their win over the Packers, and they particularly struggled to pass the ball. So naturally, the guy who has taken the most heat for that is the quarterback Jalen Hurts, as many people, including admittedly myself, largely attributed the passing game struggles to Hurts being rusty after not playing a full game for basically a month while he was dealing with a concussion. But what I missed in my video yesterday, which I actually do want to apologize to you guys for, is that if you look at the All-22 film, Hurts may actually not be as at fault as I or many others initially thought, and instead, as shown by these film breakdowns from Dan Orlovsky and Brian Baldinger, it was more due to Kellen Moore and the Eagles' conservative offensive game plan, and also the Packers' defense just completely locking things down.
So I think there's going to be a lot of conversation, a lot of opinions on the Eagles' pass game coming off of Sunday, and I thought Jalen Hurts played as well as he could given what he was asked to do, okay? My biggest concern in the pass game coming out of Sunday is no one's open, okay? They double AJ up top, not open, not open, not open, not open, not open, okay? So then everyone's going, well, Jalen Hurts, he's rusty, he's struggling, he's not throwing the football, or, man, he was bad. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No one got open. No, credit Green Bay. My concern is, why did they know what it felt like every route was? Covered, 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 covered. No one open. No one's open. Covered, covered, covered. So this is not Jalen Hurts being rusty. This is not Jalen Hurts playing poor. This is not Jalen Hurts not seeing it. This is, they got covered up. Do I think it's the receiver's faults? No. But it was like Green Bay knew every route. They got covered up. Why? That's my question.
Then on 3rd and 12, like there was just no attack at all. Like, what are these receivers? Okay, just go out and block. Let Saquon try to pick up 12 yards on 3rd and 12. Like, you watch this over 3rd and 13. They got 2 backs in for extra protection. All right, they got Calcaterra. They've got Gainwell in there. Like, they got extra protection. Are you going to just let these receivers go to work? Like, AJ's wide open now at the bottom. Maybe he can break that tackle of Keyshawn Nixon. But there's just little imagination and no attack at all game long. Like 3rd and 19, maybe a go route, but instead you're just gonna, like what? Why would anybody get excited? 3rd and 13, like the best way to attack in the red zone here is this pitch option on 3rd and 13. I don't know, like is this gonna win the playoffs if you get in this situation?
It is really interesting how seeing that film completely changes things, because you go from blaming Hurts and thinking that he just had a bad game to seeing that really on a lot of those plays there was just nobody open for him to throw it to, which credit to Green Bay's defense, but that probably falls more on Kellen Moore and the Eagles coaching staff than anybody else. And I think Baldy also made a really good point about how conservative the play calls were on a lot of the Eagles' third downs, because they were baffling at times. So on one hand, you probably should have a lot more confidence in Jalen Hurts moving forward in these playoffs after seeing that film, but on the other hand, there's probably a bit of concern about Kellen Moore and the coaches, as it was their simplistic and conservative approach that led to the Eagles' offensive struggles. And moving forward in the playoffs, they obviously do need to be better than they were in this game, or it's going to end up costing them. Now, personally, I'm confident that Kellen Moore and the Eagles will be more aggressive offensively moving forward, just with Jalen Hurts getting back into more of a rhythm after the concussion, and also after learning from what exactly went wrong against the Packers. And again, quite frankly, they're just going to need to be more aggressive, as this week they now are going to have the LA Rams coming to town after their beatdown of the Minnesota Vikings last night, and this is a team that of course does have a very high-powered offense when things are clicking, so Jalen Hurts and the Birds offense are going to need to be able to keep pace. That said, my early feelings about this matchup are pretty positive, as the last time these two teams met, the Eagles defense was able to pretty effectively shut down that high-powered Rams offense. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown had a good day, and Saquon Barkley set a franchise record with just an absolutely ridiculous 255 yards on the ground and 302 yards total on the way to a 37-20 win for the Birds. And mind you, that was in LA with no Devontae Smith, but now this time the Rams gotta fly to Philly on a short week and play outside in the cold in a rematch against a team that bullied them the last time on their home turf. So again, personally, fingers crossed, I'm pretty confident in the Eagles' chances in this one, and you guys already know that I'm going to be covering all the news leading into that matchup. So again, if you guys don't want to miss any of that, then make sure you subscribe, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. And also again, make sure you drop a like as well to show some support if you did enjoy this video. Again, let's see if we can get to 600 likes today, and also leave a comment down below. After watching the film, what are your thoughts on Jalen Hurts' performance, and what are your thoughts on the Eagles offense moving forward? And also, if you want to watch another Eagles video recapping the Birds' win over the Packers, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.